The rise of the Christmas loud fucker. I really don't give a fuck about not swearing in the first 5 minutes on YouTube. It's Boxing Day. It's just as natural as a massive fart. And trust me, I've done it. Also, I'd like to point out, as I'll point out again later, nobody is beating the log that I coiled off yesterday. It's a bad time. I had to put the brakes on the eating yesterday. It was that bad. An absolutely horrific time of the year. Really was. People are coming in the comments, not literally, I hope. Paul Elliott, how you doing? Hope you're all having a lush day. Been up since 4 a.m. after an 8-hour nap after Christmas dinner. Going to get into this, then off for a walk on the beach. Paul, have you coiled one off yet? Or are you saving it for this like Uber log? Inquiring minds need to know. Joanna saying, notifications all over the show. Got it on Twitter today. There's some like new Twitter, you can comment on Twitter feature. What was just announced today on StreamYard. There you go. Geek shit, yeah. Who's this? Zoe, morning. Matty, salad, veganism. That's what he likes. That's what he's a fan of. That's what he's all about. What we're going to do, though, in the time-honoured tradition. Oh, Leon's popped up. Hello, kids. How are you doing? Good day, all he says. Time-honoured tradition. I'm just going to stick some tunes on while we wait for people to join the stream and so I can finish this brew. And today, it's Into Space. Which is ironic, considering the half-dog alien hybrids didn't show up on the 23rd. Which is a terrible, terrible scene. Maybe it's that late. Depends what kind of dogs they are, though. Imagine like a pointer or a red setter being on time. But a poodle just told me the fuck at once. Jeez, man. Anyway, we're going to talk about the things that need to be spoken about today. Because I've been bursting inside. Bursting. I'll tell you how's about it. Are we allowed to talk yet? Has baby Jesus gone yet? He's still here in your heart and your mind. We're back in the room. Who else is in the room? Who's here? Kirsty Bridges, nice to see you, pal. B62 Boom 1, Brow from Wales, which probably is the least Brow place going, but what? Maybe it's part of Cardiff, I don't know. I have no idea. Is there a gun culture? Why we're doing this on Boxing Day, I have no idea. People will be talking about their Christmases, having a good one, laid a few logs. So similar to me, got to the K9 Overload, didn't show. Andy Taylor in the house. There's a lot of disappointment for the aliens not arriving. I'm also disappointed at that. It's a bad thing. So anyway, happy Boxing Day to everybody. For those who aren't familiar with the custom, this year's display move is the lead uppercut. That's the lead uppercut. The Machine Elves are particularly interested in your footwork this year. And without giving too much away, you might get extra points in the Inter-Counties round robin if you play cards right. Happy Boxing Day 1-0. That's got to be better than rolling a wheel of cheese down a stupidly steep hill and hoping you don't break your collarbone. From what I can tell, it's Russian roulette with them lads these days. Jez Hunt, happy biggest shit of the day, yeah. I hope you like me, Jez. Yesterday we spoke offline when we finished the show on the solstice there, and we both had decided that we were going to spend Christmas Day alone. How did it go? Let me know. I had a fucking belt at time, to be honest with you. Class. Absolutely gone on, lad. What else? You scumbag, you maggot. Chun-Li versus Sagat. Haha, you thought it was going to be something else there. Audio people, I assure you there's a meme on the screen. It's a nice one. I laughed. Boxing Day poos don't count. Boxing Day poos do not count. This is from yesterday, Christmas Day. Breaking news. The poo I've just had was massive. None of yous will beat me today. Just give up now. Flawless victory. Tiger uppercut. Boxing Day poos don't count. It's after the Lord Mayor show, I'm afraid. Not having it. Jez is saying, though, it was the best Christmas I've had in years. Same. It's just good stuff, isn't it? Can't be happier with. We'll talk about it offline. It was a great time. It is the most wonderful time of the year. Before we get into the serious gear, though, this is what happens when you leave a man alone on Christmas when everybody else is off doing whatever they're doing. I love it because I don't get all the messages. So when you're all zagging, I'm zigging. And what am I doing? Making super pasty. Look at the size of the super pasty, man. Reason being is, right, I've been gluten intolerant for many years, long before it was cool. And I never get like pasty stuff. You can't get it. It's always got the wheat in it. So check out the super pasty. Half folded over oven glove full scale to give you a sense of that pasty. I ate that watching a Batman film last night, trying to cosplay some kind of like normal human being with my super pasty. It's lush, isn't it? You should make a super pasty. You should make one for me. And I'll eat it. I will. I'll tell you, I'm going to eat that super pasty. If you'd like to support my work, go to patreon.com/cowdaily. That's patreon.com/cowdaily. Also, if you want to make a one-off contribution to our work for the baby Jesus, you can go to the link in the description for PayPal. If you want to support well on the regs, go to patreon.com/cowdaily. That's patreon.com/cowdaily. Thank you very much. We're about to do some serious gear, but before we do, get your eyes on that super pasty. It's not a bad one, is it? I was really pleased that, like, the last time I tried anything like that, it was home economics. What a beautiful thing. Look at the scale of it, though, man, next to that oven glove. Now, listen, I'm a man in my mid-40s, you know. I'm pleased with that. That's Christmas Day. The stuff in it is absolute bonanza stuff as well. I'm using red wine and that sauce. It's a gourmet super pasty. I'd put it up against super pie on Coatsy Road in Bensham any day of the week. 2 seconds, I need water. Right, water's happened. Get that pasty off the screen. We've got serious things to talk about. Have people got serious things to talk about? Jem Durden in the house, morning, brother. He's probably always at work. He's probably off today. Love you, son. Always a pleasure, never a chore. Jez Hunt, that's a massive pasty. I believe it is. Jojo's in the house. Morning, Jojo. Nice to see you. And what else? Anybody else with me? Jacqueline Hemmings. Nice to see you. Everyone managed to catch a live one. I'm pleased you're here, pal. Always a pleasure, never a chore. I don't know, like RE Super Pie, says Matty. Go and do us a favour. Go and give them a knock, Super Pie. Much like Robbie Williams and Liam Gallagher back in the day. Get 50 of their pasties, get one of my super pasties, and I'm telling you, get out. Gateshead pasty supremacy there can only be one. Pasty Lander, winner. Boxing Day, me. Get it up, yeah. Right. Let's get the stuff we're here to really talk about. Are we allowed to talk yet? Can we say anything? Can all of that go away now? Yes. This is from Mohammed Elmi. It's our duty to keep speaking about Palestine. Noted, Mohammed. Let's do it. What a strange dystopian world to celebrate the birth of a baby all month long while silently watching children be murdered in a brutal genocide on the very lands that baby was born on. May this Christmas season evoke some actual empathy in people. Well, what did happen? This was 5 days ago. We'll have a look at this, right? Some of you will have missed this because Christmas, and obviously, you know, that's understandable, but your father's here and he's going to tell you all about it. Catch up on that, because that's what we're here for. That's what we do. So this right here is Munter Isaac, pastor of Christmas Evangelical Lutheran Church in Bethlehem. That's the Bethlehem, not Bethlehem, Missouri, or some mad place. Speaking of that, people from there, proper flag waving, generally the Christian right for Palestine. Strangely, not saying a word when this lad, the pastor of Bethlehem, is saying this. Let's see if we've got it in there. We do. Let's hear it together.
We will be okay. Despite the immense blow we have endured, we, the Palestinians, will recover. We will rise. We will stand up again from the midst of destruction, as we have always done as Palestinians. Although this is by far maybe the biggest blow we have received in a long time, but we will be okay. But for those who are complicit, I feel sorry for you. Will you ever recover from this? Your charity and your words of shock after the genocide won't make a difference. And I know these words of shocks are coming. And I know people will give generously for charity. But your words won't make a difference. Words of regret won't suffice for you. And let me say it, we will not accept your apology after the genocide.
Hell yeah, speak now.
What has been done has been done. I want you to look at the mirror and ask, where was I when Gaza was going through a genocide?
Well, speaking personally, brother, I was sat right here in this very seat, literally and figuratively, trying my level best to just fucking do whatever small contribution can be made. Unreal what's been going on, happening all over Christmas. Bethlehem cancelled the Christmas celebrations in solidarity. Did anybody know? Like, was that talked about in the way that it should have been, like on every TV set in the Western world and beyond? I didn't say it. I don't know. Did anybody say it? And I thought I'd bring it up just to set the stage for this. This is absolutely just something sad going on at the moment. This from the Fellowship of the Memes. Don't know about anybody else, but I'm happy to be arrested for opposing the mass unaliving of kids in the region we can't name, because the good guys have the social media firms in their back pockets and using every tool available to not allow the bad guys to broadcast their children being unalived to pieces by Western bombs. In France, currently, merely speaking up for said region, which can't be named, can get you arrested. Dangerous times ahead. I'm festive as fuck me, Glasgow. And that last line also speaks to, do you remember like a few years ago, and it's coming up in like memories on Facebook now, when Brexit and a load of stuff was just waved through, and it was all part of this celebratory psychology, and it turns out it was what it was, and it got it all through, and all big lies. This is obviously speaking to things that are happening during the Christmas period. It's a good day to bury bad news, as they say, because people are looking the other way. So we're going to try and catch you up today. Cheers for that one, Glasgow. This a comment on Stephen Fry, and it's from Vicky Tansy Brown. I don't know if you've seen Stephen Fry's Christmas message. I'm not going to play it because copyright and whatever, and also fuck Stephen Fry. But what Vicky's saying is he could have used his platform to speak up against the atrocities committed by the Zionists and still being proud of his Jewish heritage. I'm disappointed in him. The establishment in general, and I'm astounded daily that the atrocities are continuing to be compounded. The majority of people around the world are sitting there in silence. Anti-Israel is not anti-Semitism, but I feel like Netanyahu and his cronies are playing an absolute blinder and linking the two. People shouldn't be afraid to speak up about genocide. Try as I might, I cannot wrap my head around how the survivors of the Holocaust can justify doing this to others. I reply, let us not be afraid together. Hence why, Vicky, I decided to not just sit around a day under the Christmas umbrella, and to step up and actually do what you've said, inspired by you. So here we are, talking about the thing and speaking up together, and encourage anybody out there to do the same, no matter how large or small you feel your platform is, or make a contribution to busting through some of these taboos, particularly at this time of the year, and why there's a taboo around speaking up about genocide. Listen, to do this job and other things that I do, I've had to see some absolute spicy stuff, like many people have, in terms of footage of dead babies and things like that. And one of the reasons I'm sitting here talking to you now on Boxing Day, when I'd like to be shoveling chocolate into my mouth, is that the Palestinian Society asked people to use their platforms to speak up for them, because theirs has been taken away by simply taking away the internet. We also know through Human Rights Watch, paper report, call it what you will, that went around recently, that pro-peace voices like ours and others are being stepped on. You can just look at your reach chart and it just goes off a cliff, and that's not going to stop where there's no amount of any kind of personal reward that will stop us from stepping up and speaking up on behalf of the people who are being genocided where they live, and move from one place told to go there, that's safe, and then that gets bombed too. Hell to the no, man. Just no. And I don't care. It's Christmas. We're talking. Anyway, as we spoke about before, to give you the catch up, Bethlehem has cancelled Christmas. This is not a joke. I had to caption that because, hey, you just don't know these days, do you? Reverend Isaac, it is impossible to celebrate Christmas when there is a genocide taking place in our land. If this doesn't bring reality a sharp relief in 2023, then nothing will. Israeli forces stormed Bethlehem the night before Christmas Eve. There needs to be an international condemnation for this. According to Human Rights Watch, pro-peace voices like ours have been censored on Meta platforms, Instagram and Facebook. So please, if you see this, do let people know what is happening. However, man, you can't use words like it's not Christmassy when the birthplace of Jesus has cancelled Christmas itself. And I believe that, you know what I mean? It's like people often step down and tamp down any taboos about speaking up about anything other than it's Christmas by being it's not Christmassy. Yeah, man, Bethlehem has cancelled bloody Christmas, man. Like 1 year, can we just drop this? And I'm not trying to be all like, how man, everybody don't celebrate or hang out with your family or do all that cool shit. I'm not saying that, but also what I am saying is let's just acknowledge, like, when we look the other way or when our culture looks the other way, bad shit happens. So anyway, things are happening around the world. Just want to bring up on some of the graffiti. It's from Brisbane, Australia. Israel's still murdering children. Merry Christmas. People out there, low key, Israel kills children and babies daily and the world barely blinks. We are sick. This has disfigured us all. It's hard to not say, yeah, you're right. This from the Jerusalem Post, slipped in down the back stairs. Opinion. The facts demonstrate that the northern Sinai Peninsula is an ideal location to develop a spacious resettlement for the people of Gaza. Mate, that's in Egypt. That's a completely different place. That's not Palestine. Thanks. Right. We're going to cover more of this in future shows, but just wanted to float that in there. Oh, it's just an opinion. Shut up, man. Also, shouts to Facebook. We're currently getting the stuff for County Clare is Palestine Solidarity campaign just before Christmas. Really looking forward to celebrating the solstice that New Year. Cheers, Huns. As I said before, just sit and shake my head. Haven't seen Stephen Fry's Christmas message. Just want to highlight this from Ruth. There was nothing alternative about it. My heart dropped and I was in a state of shock throughout. Power is winning over truth at the minute. Literally unbelievable. It would seem that it is winning, but there are things still keeping the flame alive. This being one of them. Other people doing the same. And we're going to push forward. 2024, there's no time for meek and mild and the baby Jesus and all of that. No time for it all. We've got competing crises, and it's us, people like you and I, that are going to change this. And we're going to do that by continuing to build our own institutions, growing this, and not backing down. Who's in the comments? Non-backer dooners. Carlos is in. Nice to see you, pal. Good morning. Still censored by Facebook. All I can say is well done. Well done right back at you, my friend. Sorry to hear that you've been censored for speaking up. One of them things, isn't it? I'm just going to see if we've missed anybody. Fiona Duncan's in. Nice to see you, pal. All the best. Always a pleasure. Nebra Chaw. Miss Gilly, you're in. Nice to see you. You found her. Right. Anybody we've missed? Glasgow's in the house. Oi, oi. Just how your ears were burning, mate. Aye. Katrina's saying it was in the news, just the peeps don't pay attention. Mad, well, quite. I mean, and that's the thing. It's not going to be like splattered everywhere, is it? Like, for example, Jeremy Corbyn's front door. I honestly think I've seen it that many times. I could walk around the whole of London and still find it without a map. So, right, what else we got? Glasgow saying, our reach is still half of what it was. Walking a tightrope, trying to highlight things without getting targeted from the algorithm. Tell us about it, mate. It's absolutely, utterly doing me beans in. JC, no, not that one. Says, pretty sure Israel offered Egypt a shitload of cash to resettle Palestinians. I'm pretty sure that you're right, but I'm going to save off like talking about that stuff, and it is coming because Boxing Day, and I wanted to just get the catch up done, but we're coming there. Jez saying Alexis Sale did an alternate Christmas speech on here. It was very pro-Palestinian. I was going to play the show out, but I didn't know if the algorithm would snaffle it up, like, so I decided not to. Anyway, onwards. Just on Fry, Stephen Fry. I'm not going to say anything about or play the bullshit that he came out with in some alternative so-called Christmas message, but I do suggest you search it out and go and find it. This is from the National Post, though, and what I will say, this is from April the 12th, 2016. Just grow up, Stephen Fry tells sexual abuse victims to stop feeling sorry for themselves. It's a great shame, and we're all very sorry that your uncle touched you in that nasty place, says Fry, but your self-pity gets none of my sympathy. That's what you're dealing with. That's the type of man you're dealing with. And all of this, like, avuncular, like, everybody's, like, wise uncle QI nonsense can get in the fucking bin. People show the true colors when, I don't know, it's time for, like, people who are being put upon, or like the millions of people living in poverty, that Fry did everything he could to stop any hope at the ballot box from coming. And now, with this so-called alternative Christmas message, watch that one, but also watch Alexis Sales too. Sorry, Leon. Oh no, not Fry too. Fry's a dodge pot, and he's like absolutely nothing like his character in V for Vendetta, sadly. So anyway, what else? Neifert Enrique, great name. I don't know if he's related to former Newcastle and Liverpool defender Luis Enrique, who used to play round about the time I last had my season ticket at what is now Castle Grayskull, sadly. Anyway, literally as his hometown, Bethlehem is raided on Christmas morning. You can't celebrate the birth of Jesus whilst turning a blind eye to the people of his homeland. Hashtag Free Palestine. Turns out Neifert, people can. Same way COVID, same way a number of other things that the ostrich-like response promote. I just wanted to point out as well, one of the nicest things about Christmas morning, and hello, one of my nephews, if you can hear us, we're exchanging old school. He's banging into his old school football strips. So am I. We didn't realise. So I'm showing him what I feel is the top one there, which is the Paolo Maldini, Franco Baresi era Mediolanum AC Milan shirt with obviously the old trefoil Adidas there. Had to get that in for the Christmas because, like, it was just nice, a nice thing on Christmas morning, you know. It was a canny thing. It's nice to speak to your family. So anyway, also another one just to end the show. Back in the day during I think the Brexit-y type times, myself and Rick Keane here would go back and forth, like proper, like giving it to each other. But, you know, I like to think in a collegiate spirit for the most part. It very rarely spilled over. But as I've been wanting to do, I'll see the memories on the Facebook, and he's quite right in what he says. I am a bit petty. I'll go on, and I was like, 3 years later, bet you're still bigging up Starmer. Even now, I said to Rick, I did this on Christmas Eve. That's the level of petty I've got in my soul. Rick replies, quite rightly. I mean, it's weird that you would bring up a conversation from 3 years ago, but no, I don't. I actually left the party 6 months ago. You were right about him. I was blinded by his lies. Rick, I love you, mate. It's a Christmas miracle. I've just replied, bloody hell, man. It's a Christmas miracle. Fair play to you, man. No ill will here. We then went on to then blow smoke up each other's arse and be a bit tentative and awkward, but I'm fucking cannot believe it, man. Big up Rick. Big up Rick Keane. Big up all who have come back away from the clutches of the Sith to basically the land of evidence. And I would love it if Rick was around and pop up and we could have a little chat in the live chat. We just re-cement our relationship. Let's, by all means, debate in a collegiate sense, but pleasure to have you back on board, Rick. I've seen you pop up in one of the other threads. Same goes for anybody. I can't even believe it, man. Loved it. Love you. Love everybody. It's the Christmas miracle we all needed. Rick Keane's back on the team. Big up, Rick. All the best, Rick. Jez is saying, nice one, Rick. Joanne saying, was actually rather impressed about your Green Brigade vid. Mike, I didn't make the bid. It was somebody else. I posted it though. Paul Elliott, I have the tracksuit top from that era. Absolutely the funk phenomenon, isn't it? It's a lovely, lovely time. Jez is saying, in the Bible, Mary, Joseph, and Jesus are forced to flee due to the brutal slaughter of children. They became refugees and end up in Egypt. There's some dark, ironic echo shit going on. Certainly bloody is, man. Fiona's saying, Alexi's message is superb and gutted about Fry. Same, but like, no gods, no masters. It always sees you right. So when somebody does this, it's like, yeah, humans are like that, aren't they? And we just bounce and move on. Anyway, Laverne Spicer, one of the Christian right were mentioned earlier. Jesus Christ never introduced himself using pronouns. Bada bing, bada boom replies, didn't Jesus identify as bread at one point? And that's something that I'd like to end the show on. Just a quick hit this Boxing Day, if you'll pardon the pun. Always a pleasure, never a bloody chore. Just want to see like a bit of community get well popping up together in this. Also, if you want to support work, you can go to youtube.com/CowDaily and subscribe there. Also, it'd be really helpful if you would subscribe via the links in the description to Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Even if you've been listening to this live, some people are muting them and just playing them, and that helps from if you play them from start to finish with the chart position, which gets more visibility, which gets more people on board, which gets out the messages that we're trying to put out in the world. I'm doing too much of this hand shit. I'm thinking that's far too culty Russell Brand and that. Look around the eyes, look around the eyes. Look at this, man. You start doing this, and Peter Thiel turns up if you say his name 3 times and offers you £7 million, allegedly. Anyway, Boxing Day. Who's a boot before we're gone? Right. Much love, everyone. Merry Christmas. Says Leon. Big up the Green Brigade. I've always been pro-Palestine. Ding, ding, ding. Hold on a minute. 2 seconds. Right. Hail, hail, says Glasgow. Reet. I'm getting ready here. I'm going to get some stuff done, but always a pleasure, never a chore. If you want to support work, go to patreon.com/CowDaily. Links in the description. If you want to support work via PayPal, via one-off contribution. Cheers, chaps. Get myself, I don't know, walk the dog. What do I do now? Dishes, they've got to be put away. That's next. Maybe brush the floor. That kind of thing. I'm just really into that kind of wholesome stuff right now. See you later. Love to all.